What's up YouTube? This is John Helm with Helmwood Shop & Smithy, back with another knife making video. This is the latest and greatest out of Hellsforge. It is the Hellsforge 2-burner Max. It looks pretty awesome right out of the box. It's about 18 inches long. I'm gonna say about 9 inches wide. It comes with 2 burners, this T attachment thing so you can hook them both up. A hose runs to your propane tank. It comes lined with Kaowool, and they included some refractory cement, 2 big fire bricks, and a paintbrush for applying the refractory cement. It looks and feels like it is very solidly built. Everything is nice, heavy, welded steel. I do have a couple complaints about it though. The regulator is really dinky. And the other complaint that I have is it doesn't sit flat. But little tiny imperfections aside, I am still super psyched to fire this thing up. And before I can do that, I have to coat the inside with refractory cement. So let's get started. All right. This is gonna take like 25 years if I just use the brush, so I'm gonna have to get my hands in there. I took my time trying to put this refractory cement on there so that it is as nice and neat as I can possibly get it, but it's just messy stuff. I mean, even if you put it on there really carefully, you're never really gonna get it looking that great. Not that it really matters, but I just don't like to be sloppy when I do things. So I'll clean up some of this that got on the outside, and then I need to let this cure overnight. Another thing that forges almost never seem to come with that I really feel like they should are doors. This is just a tube with some refractory inside and some holes cut for the burners. And if you've ever used a propane forge that didn't have doors on it and you had to slide the fire breaks in front, it's a mess, man. You knock them off all the time. They're always breaking and they're expensive. You know, they don't give those things away for free. So I definitely don't want to find myself in that situation. So I've got some 1.5 inch angle iron here, and I'm just gonna weld a piece to the top and a piece to the bottom, and then I'll have to cut my fire bricks with a grinding wheel so they fit in there, but afterwards they should slide back and forth, and it should make it a lot easier for me to control the heat inside the forge, as well as inside the shop. Well, during that process, I was quickly reminded how long it's been since I did any real welding. I was really out of practice. My first weld I did looks horrifically bad. I'm definitely gonna have to grind it. So the other ones I just spot welded into place. I put 5 spots. That's gonna be plenty of strength for the application. As long as this doesn't go falling off the bench, it shouldn't be a problem. But because of the height of this forge, I'm gonna have to cut any of the fire bricks that go in as doors, which kind of sucks, but I figured that since they're on a track and I won't be dropping them all the time, they probably won't break that frequently anyway, so it's not a huge deal. You can just cut them off with a cut-off wheel. The space for these to fit in is 8 inches, so I'm gonna cut these at 7 3/4. These are made out of really nasty stuff. You don't want to be breathing in the dust that it kicks out everywhere. So open up your doors and wear a ventilator while you're doing this. As it turns out, cutting fire breaks with an angle grinder is an immense pain in the ass. I wouldn't recommend it. I'm really hoping that these doors tend to last a long time so I don't have to do it too often. Anyway, they're all cut, they all fit, they all slide back and forth, nice and easy. So these are definitely going to be good to have on here once I start doing some forging, and especially once I start doing some forge welding. So now that I have all that situated, I will let it cure until tomorrow, and then we can start the curing process, and I'll finally be able to fire it up. It's the next morning, and it is time for the first firing of this refractory cement. So just a minute this first time. I have the gas on pretty low. And I'll go ahead and turn that off. It looked like we had maybe some air feed issues or something. It would and then turn off and then come back with like a big fireball. So I think I need to adjust these somehow. I'm not sure what exactly is going on that's causing that issue, but I need to figure it out because I can't run the forge that way. I get to fire this up for a couple minutes every hour on the hour for the next 6 to 8 hours in order to cure this refractory cement. So I'll take some time and see if I can do it during that process. It took me a couple hours of troubleshooting to get this forge running properly. I shot footage of it, but I cut it out because it's just me chasing my tail for hours on end. And after talking to some people who know more about it than I do and doing a little bit of reading, I discovered that there was air in the 100-pound propane tank, and that's why all these problems I was having were there, and then all of a sudden they all just vanished. And it didn't appear to have anything to do with the way that I had adjusted things. But all that aside, it's running decently well now. It could probably be fine-tuned a little bit better by someone who is better at it than I am. But there's fire shooting out of the top and the sucker gets hot. So I want to see how hot it will get, because my big question is, can I forge weld a large billet in here? It's been running kind of low for a few minutes now, and man, I'll tell you what, this thing gets hot fast. It got up to temperature after, I don't know, it was probably 2 or 3 minutes. It looked like it was up to forging temperature. So I'm gonna go ahead and crank it up and bring it up as hot as it can get. You think you could forge weld at 2,400 degrees? You think so? I think you probably could. I think it's safe to say that forge welding in this is not going to be an issue. So I am extremely pleased. I'm extremely pleased to not have to mess with coal anymore. That is just such a nightmare. I'm extremely pleased because this will make heat treating knives so much easier than doing it in a coal forge. It's really hard to heat up anything longer than, I don't know, 5-6 inches in a coal forge and get a nice even heat, but no longer going to be an issue. So overall, I don't really have anything bad that I can say about this forge. It is well built. I don't know, it does have the wobbly leg on it. I guess that would be the only thing that I could really complain about. This is a good buy. This is definitely a good brand. If you are looking for a forge, definitely go check them out. This is Hell's Forge. They're available on Amazon. I will leave a link in the description for the propane forge as well as the propane tank. I got both of them off of Amazon. And if you are in the market for a new forge, you should definitely check out Hell's Forge. I know I'm very pleased with my purchase. I hope you would be as well. So if you want to see more blacksmithing, woodworking, and tool review videos, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notifications bell so you can see when I come out with new ones in the future. Thank y'all very much for watching, and until next time, y'all have a good one.